What if the reality you know, the very fabric of your existence, is about to unravel? And what if the calendar itself is about to become meaningless? This isn't a doomsday prophecy, but a call to awareness, because according to some startling interpretations of secret NASA data, the timeline as we perceive it may be on the verge of a significant fracture, with February 21st looming as a potentially pivotal date. This isn't about abstract cosmic events happening far away. This is about your life, your memories, your relationships, and the very ground you walk on. Imagine waking up one morning to find subtle yet unsettling discrepancies in your world. A street sign that's always been blue is now green. A shared memory with a loved one that they no longer recall. These could be symptoms of a larger shift, a branching off into a different stream of reality. Understanding the potential for these changes isn't just an intellectual exercise. It's about equipping yourself to navigate a world where the rules are no longer fixed. For generations, we've been taught to accept linear time as an unyielding constant, a straight line stretching from past to future. But what if that line is actually a circle, a spiral, or even a complex web of interconnected possibilities? Institutions like NASA, with their vast resources and access to cutting-edge technology, may possess data that challenges this conventional view. Is all that data public, or is there more that contradicts the traditional narrative? Consider the historical skepticism surrounding events like the moon landing or the continuous questions about the true nature of space exploration. Are these isolated doubts or symptoms of a larger need to question accepted realities? What exactly is a timeline collapse? Imagine a river suddenly splitting into multiple channels, each carving a different path through the landscape. Or picture a tree branching out, with each branch representing a different possibility. Now, envision those separate realities swirling together in a chaotic whirlpool, creating instability and uncertainty. This is, in essence, what some researchers believe a timeline collapse could entail. A merging or fracturing of realities, leading to a period of flux where the familiar rules no longer apply. Quantum physics, with its mind-bending concepts like entanglement and superposition, offers intriguing clues. Could it be that our consciousness is intertwined with the very fabric of reality, influencing which timeline we experience? And what about the patterns of history, the cycles of civilizations, and the recurring themes that seem to echo through time? From the rise and fall of empires to the cyclical nature of climate change, there's evidence all around us that time may not be as linear as we think. Could it be that we're simply reliving past events on a grander scale, and that February 21st marks the beginning of a new iteration? Throughout this video, we'll delve deeper into the nature of this secret NASA data, exploring the anomalies and inconsistencies that have led some to believe that a timeline shift is not only possible, but imminent. We'll be exploring specific techniques for navigating these potential shifts, offering tools for mindfulness, meditation, and restructuring your core beliefs, which is extremely important in maintaining your personal reality. But for now, consider this. What if the past, present, and future are not fixed points, but fluid possibilities? And what if you have the ability to consciously choose which one you experience? Is February 21st just another date on the calendar, or a signpost on the road to a new reality? So, what unsettling secrets might NASA's data hold, and how could they relate to this potential timeline instability? Let's consider NASA's Deep Space Network, or DSN. This network of massive radio antennas acts as our ears to the cosmos, constantly monitoring signals from distant spacecraft and celestial objects. But what if, hidden within this torrent of data, lie subtle anomalies, whispers of spacetime distortions that could potentially rewrite our understanding of reality? Imagine gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of spacetime caused by cataclysmic events like black hole collisions. Scientists detect these waves using incredibly sensitive instruments. Now, picture subtle, unexpected fluctuations in these signals, patterns that defy our current models. Could these be mere noise? Or could they indicate something more profound, perhaps the subtle stretching and compression of spacetime associated with timeline shifts? Furthermore, could these fluctuations have a recurring signature around February 21st, suggesting a cyclical temporal event? Consider that throughout history, many significant turning points, paradigm shifts, or moments of societal upheaval have occurred on or near this date. Could these be echoes of a larger temporal pattern, subtle ripples that are now intensifying as we approach a potential convergence? Interpreting such data is, of course, incredibly complex. Our current scientific models, while impressive, may only scratch the surface of reality. What if there are hidden variables, unknown factors that exert a subtle but powerful influence on spacetime? We grapple with the mysteries of dark matter and dark energy, phenomena that make up the vast majority of the universe, but remain largely unexplained. Could these enigmatic forces also be playing a role in these temporal anomalies, challenging our notion of a completely predictable, deterministic universe? And if so, could the key to understanding timeline shifts lie not just in advanced physics, but also in realms beyond our current scientific understanding? It's easy to imagine that NASA, an institution dedicated to exploring the physical universe, might inadvertently stumble upon data relevant to something far more elusive: consciousness itself. Consider the observer effect in quantum mechanics, the phenomenon where the act of observing a quantum system changes its behavior. If consciousness can influence the behavior of subatomic particles, is it possible that it can also influence the very fabric of spacetime, subtly shaping the timelines we experience? Could the collective consciousness of humanity, with its beliefs, expectations, and intentions, be playing a role in the unfolding of these potential timeline shifts, a role that is only beginning to be understood? Now, let's shift our perspective and consider time not as a rigid line, but as a flowing river. Imagine different timelines as different currents or tributaries, each representing a unique possibility. The collapse we're discussing could be likened to a period of rapids or turbulence, where the waters become turbulent and navigating requires heightened skill and awareness. Visualize a kayaker navigating whitewater rapids. They must be fully present, attuned to the currents, and ready to adapt to changing conditions. Similarly, navigating potential timeline shifts may require developing our inner awareness and intuition. Throughout history, we've seen periods of intense societal change, moments where the old order crumbles and new possibilities emerge. Think of the Renaissance, a period of artistic, scientific, and philosophical rebirth that shattered medieval dogma. Or the Industrial Revolution, which transformed society with unprecedented technological advancements, and the fall of empires across time, which had been thought to be invincible. Could these be seen as analogous timeline collapses, periods of intense turbulence that paved the way for new eras? Are we, perhaps, on the cusp of another such transition, a period of profound upheaval that will ultimately lead to a new stage in human evolution? If so, how can we navigate these shifting currents with grace and resilience? The key, perhaps, lies in cultivating present moment awareness. This involves focusing your attention on the here and now, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and connecting with the stillness within. Try this simple mindfulness exercise. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus on the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. Notice any thoughts that arise, but don't engage with them. Simply let them pass like clouds in the sky. By cultivating this present moment awareness, you can become more grounded amidst the chaos, less reactive to external events, and more attuned to your inner guidance. In a world of shifting timelines, the ability to stay present may be your most valuable asset. So, rather than viewing the timeline collapse as a threat, what if we saw it as an opportunity? An opportunity to consciously choose the current or timeline we want to experience, an opportunity to rewrite our personal and collective story. Visualize the timeline you desire, a future filled with peace, harmony, and abundance. Align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with that vision. Let your intentions be clear, your beliefs empowering, and your actions consistent. By consciously choosing our timeline, we become active co-creators of our reality, shaping the future with our thoughts and intentions. This brings us to another intriguing phenomenon, the Mandela effect. Have you ever had a memory that you were absolutely certain of, only to discover that others remember it differently? Perhaps you recall the Berenstain Bears being spelled Berenstein Bears, or that the famous line from Star Wars was, "Luke, I am your father," rather than "No, I am your father." These shared false memories, known as the Mandela effect, are often dismissed as simple misremembering or confabulation. But what if they are something more profound, glimpses into alternate timelines, evidence of individuals slipping between different realities? Could the intensity of the Mandela effect be heightened around February 21st, suggesting a correlation with timeline fluctuations? Perhaps individuals experiencing more pronounced Mandela effects are in effect more sensitive to the subtle shifts in reality occurring around this time. Do online forums or communities dedicated to the Mandela effect show any spikes in reported experiences around this date? If so, it could provide further evidence that something unusual is indeed happening. But even without definitive proof, the Mandela effect challenges our assumptions about the nature of memory and reality. The scientific community generally attributes the Mandela effect to psychological factors like suggestibility, confirmation bias, and the reconstructive nature of memory. While these explanations may account for some instances, they don't fully explain the shared nature of these false memories, the vividness with which they are recalled, or the emotional impact they can have. Is it possible that there are external influences at play, quantum effects, that are subtly altering our memories and perceptions of reality? While the scientific community may remain skeptical, the sheer persistence and widespread nature of the Mandela effect warrants further investigation. Ultimately, the Mandela effect forces us to confront a fundamental question. Are our memories fixed and immutable, or are they fluid and subject to change? Are we passive recipients of our past, or active co-creators who can rewrite our personal histories? Keep a journal of your memories, track any discrepancies or changes you notice over time, and question the very foundations of your reality. For in a world where timelines may be shifting, the only constant is change itself. And what about the echoes of the past, the prophecies and predictions that have resonated through the ages? Could ancient prophecies, from the Mayan calendar to the Book of Revelation, be interpreted as warnings of timeline shifts or collapses? These ancient texts speak of major changes, cataclysms, and periods of intense upheaval. Are these simply symbolic metaphors for social or political change, or could they be literal predictions of temporal disruptions? Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of these prophecies is their potential connection to February 21st. Do any specific interpretations of these prophecies align with potential events occurring around this time? Are there any recurring themes or symbols that seem to resonate with the timeline collapse theory? It's important to approach these connections with discernment, recognizing that prophecies are often symbolic and open to multiple interpretations. But by exploring these potential links, we may gain a deeper understanding of the cyclical nature of time and the potential for recurring patterns in human history. Prophecies are, by their very nature, shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. They are often expressed in symbolic language, making them open to a wide range of interpretations. It's important to approach them with a critical mind, recognizing the potential for misinterpretations, biases, and the tendency to project our own fears and desires onto the text. Blind faith in prophecies can lead to dogmatism and fear, while critical thinking can help us extract valuable insights and lessons from the past. But what if we saw these prophecies not as fixed predictions of doom, but as potential roadmaps or warnings that can be used to influence the future? What if they are not set in stone, but rather represent possible outcomes that can be altered by our choices and actions. Focus on the positive aspects of these prophecies, the promise of renewal, transformation, and a new beginning. By embracing hope and focusing on the potential for a better future, we can help to steer ourselves towards a more positive timeline. Ultimately, the power to shape our reality lies within us. The concept of intention, the focused direction of our thoughts, feelings, and actions, is a powerful force that can influence the timelines we experience. Countless studies have demonstrated the power of positive thinking, visualization, and the law of attraction. By focusing our attention on a desired outcome, we can subtly shift the quantum field and create observable changes in the physical world. But how does this translate to navigating potential timeline shifts? Consider the experiments related to quantum entanglement, where two particles become linked in such a way that they share the same fate, regardless of the distance separating them. Or the observer effect, where the act of observing a quantum system influences its behavior. These findings suggest that consciousness is not merely a passive observer of reality, but an active participant in its creation. By focusing our intention on a desired timeline, we may be able to subtly influence the quantum field, creating a ripple effect that shapes our reality. However, intention is not just about wishful thinking. It requires clarity, focus, and consistent action. We must align our intentions with our core values and authentic desires, ensuring that our thoughts, feelings, and actions are all moving in the same direction. Take some time to set clear intentions for your life, writing them down, visualizing them, and creating action plans to support them. The more clear, focused, and consistent your intentions, the more powerful they will become. The ultimate challenge is to take responsibility for our own reality, to consciously choose the timeline we want to experience. Identify any limiting beliefs or negative patterns that are holding you back, and replace them with empowering beliefs and positive intentions. Believe in your ability to create a better future, and take action every day to bring that future into reality. What limiting beliefs are you holding on to that are holding you back from experiencing your desired reality? What empowering beliefs can you adopt to replace them? By taking ownership of our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we can become the conscious architects of our own destiny. But what if the very fabric of our perceived reality is not as solid as we believe? What if the timeline shifts we've been discussing are not just anomalies, but rather symptoms of a deeper, more fundamental truth that we are living in a simulation? The idea might sound like science fiction, straight out of the Matrix, but it's a concept that has been seriously considered by philosophers, physicists, and computer scientists alike. Think about Nick Bostrom's simulation argument, which suggests that at least one of the following propositions must be true. Either humans will go extinct before reaching a stage where they can create realistic simulations. A civilization might reach that point, but then choose not to create simulations, or we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. If our reality is indeed a simulation, then timeline shifts could be akin to software updates or glitches in the code, unexpected errors that reveal the artificial nature of our world. Consider the Mandela effect, those shared false memories that defy conventional explanations. Could these be the equivalent of render errors in a video game, where textures or objects load incorrectly, creating a temporary distortion of reality? And what if these glitches are becoming more frequent or noticeable around specific dates, such as February 21st? Could this indicate a system-wide update, a recalibration of the simulation, or even a potential system reset? Think about video games. Have you ever experienced a glitch where a character gets stuck in a wall or an object disappears and reappears unexpectedly? These render errors are often caused by limitations in the game's programming or conflicts between different pieces of code. Now, imagine our reality is a simulation far more complex than any video game ever created. The potential for glitches, anomalies, and unexpected behaviors would be exponentially higher. While our current technology is far from creating a truly indistinguishable simulation, the rapid advancements in virtual reality and artificial intelligence suggest that it may be possible one day. But even the most advanced simulation would still have its limitations, its cracks in the code that could reveal its artificial nature. If we are living in a simulation, what does that mean for our free will? Are our choices predetermined by the code, or do we have the ability to deviate from the programmed path? Is consciousness itself a program running within the simulation, or is it something that exists independently, capable of influencing the code from the outside? These are questions that have no easy answers, but they challenge us to think deeply about the nature of reality and our place within it. Can consciousness truly exist independently of a physical body or simulation? Or is our awareness inextricably linked to the simulated world around us? Let's move away from theoretical possibilities and towards personal experience. What if the key to understanding timeline shifts lies not in grand cosmic theories, but in our own subjective experience of time? Our perception of time is not fixed or objective. It is fluid, malleable, and deeply influenced by our emotions, our stress levels, and our states of consciousness. Think about those moments when time seems to speed up or slow down, when hours feel like minutes or seconds stretch into eternity. Have you ever experienced time dilation during a stressful event, like a car accident, where everything seems to move in slow motion? Or perhaps you've noticed how time flies when you're engaged in a fun or stimulating activity. These subjective experiences of time distortion may be more than just tricks of the mind. They may be glimpses into the true nature of time, a hint that it is not the rigid, linear construct that we typically believe it to be. What if individuals who are more attuned to their inner states, more mindful of their thoughts and feelings, are also more sensitive to timeline shifts? Could they experience more pronounced distortions of time, more vivid Mandela effects, or more frequent synchronicities? Consider studies on meditation and mindfulness, which have shown that these practices can alter our perception of time, making us feel more present and less caught up in the past or future. Neurologically, our brains construct a sense of linear time from fragmented sensory information. The hippocampus, a region of the brain associated with memory, plays a crucial role in organizing our experiences into a chronological sequence, creating a sense of past, present, and future. But this is just a construct, a way for the brain to make sense of the world. In reality, time may be far more complex, nonlinear, and interconnected than our brains can comprehend. So how does the brain reconcile the present moment with memories of the past to project a possible future when these events may be fluid? Pay attention to your own subjective experience of time. Notice how it changes in different situations and emotional states. Keep a journal to track your personal experiences with time distortion, noting any potential triggers or patterns. Do you notice any recurring themes, any particular situations or emotions that seem to amplify your awareness of time's fluidity? By becoming more aware of your own subjective experience of time, you may gain a deeper understanding of the nature of reality itself. If timelines are indeed shifting, and if our perception of reality is more malleable than we thought, then how can we consciously navigate these changes? The answer, perhaps, lies in developing our intuition, cultivating mindfulness, and restructuring our beliefs. These are not just abstract concepts, but practical tools that can help us to shape our personal reality and consciously choose the timeline we want to experience. Think about different meditation techniques that focus on connecting with inner guidance, such as visualization, guided imagery, or simply sitting in silence and listening to your intuition. By consciously directing our attention and energy, we can influence which timeline we experience. Consider the placebo effect, where a person's belief in a treatment can actually produce physical changes in their body, even if the treatment itself is inert. This demonstrates the power of belief to shape our reality. If we believe that we are capable of navigating timeline shifts, If we believe that we can create a positive future, then we are more likely to do so. So is it possible that by practicing techniques to promote positive change, that you can in effect cause a placebo effect on your future? The science behind mindfulness and meditation is becoming increasingly clear. These practices have been shown to alter brainwave activity, reduce stress hormones, and improve focus and attention. By quieting the mind and connecting with the present moment, we can access a deeper level of awareness, a level where intuition and inner guidance become more accessible. And what about limiting beliefs, those deeply ingrained assumptions that hold us back from achieving our full potential? Learning to identify and challenge these beliefs is essential for consciously shaping our reality. Take an active role in creating your desired reality. Experiment with different techniques for developing intuition, cultivating mindfulness, and restructuring your beliefs. Create a vision board, use affirmations, practice gratitude, and surround yourself with positive influences. Most of all, believe in your ability to create a better future. What specific actions can you take each day to align yourself with the timeline you desire? Remember, even small steps can make a big difference over time. Let's return to the question of February 21st. Rather than viewing it as a fixed point of doom, let's reframe it as a potential catalyst, a date where the veil between timelines may be thinner, making conscious navigation and intention setting more impactful. Perhaps on this date, the collective consciousness of humanity will be more receptive to change, creating an opportune time for positive manifestation. What if the collective unconscious plays a part too? Connect this date to the NASA data anomalies, the Mandela effect spikes, the ancient prophecies we discussed earlier. What recurring themes or symbols seem to converge around this time? Track your own experiences on and around February 21st, noting any unusual events, changes in perception, or heightened synchronicities. By paying attention to the subtle clues and synchronicities in our lives, we may gain a deeper understanding of the forces at play and where they converge, and by documenting them, we may reveal new, previously unseen patterns. We must also acknowledge the uncertainty surrounding this date. Whether or not a major event occurs, the underlying principles of consciousness, intention, and personal agency remain powerful tools. It's easy to get caught up in speculation and fear, but it's important to remember that we always have the power to choose our response, to shape our experience, and to create a more positive future, irrespective of any date. Is it possible that focusing solely on a specific date can be a self-imposed limiting belief? After all, the potential for change exists at any moment. Approach February 21st with curiosity and an open mind, rather than fear or anxiety. Use the day for meditation, intention setting, and connecting with your inner guidance. Regardless of what happens or doesn't happen, remember that you have the power to choose your response and to shape your experience. Now, let's talk about. But how complicit are we in all of this? Let's explore the strange implications of the observer effect, that mind-bending principle from quantum physics that suggests the very act of observing something changes its behavior. Could this seemingly microscopic phenomenon be playing out on a grand, cosmic scale, influencing the very timelines we inhabit? In the quantum realm, a particle exists in a state of superposition, a multitude of possibilities, until an observer measures it, at which point it collapses into a single, definite state. So what happens if we apply this bizarre idea to entire timelines? Imagine the timeline as a vast ocean of possibilities, each wave representing a potential future. Our collective attention, our fears, our hopes, act as the observer, focusing the energy of consciousness onto specific waves, causing them to rise and solidify into the reality we experience. The more we focus on a particular timeline, the more likely it is to manifest. If we collectively fixate on a timeline collapse, are we inadvertently amplifying its probability, drawing it closer into our reality? What if the anxieties and doomsday scenarios we entertain are not just passive observations, but active ingredients in shaping our future? Look at the historical record for examples. Mass panics have triggered bank runs, fueled stock market crashes, and incited wars, all born from the collective belief in a negative outcome. The fear itself became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Consider the concept of psychic entropy, the notion that negative thoughts and emotions can contribute to disorder and chaos in our environment. Think of stress and negativity. These feelings impact our own bodies. So is it a leap to suggest that collective anxiety about the future could be contributing to timeline instability, creating a feedback loop of fear and uncertainty? Now, it's time to challenge ourselves. Are we merely passive spectators in this unfolding drama, or are we active participants, co-creating our reality through our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs? What if we could consciously shift our focus, intentionally observing positive outcomes, desired timelines, and futures filled with hope and abundance? Instead of succumbing to fear, what if we embraced our role as conscious co-creators? Can we practice intentional observation, deliberately focusing on the timelines we wish to manifest? The answer may lie in the concept of timeline stacking, a mind-bending idea where multiple potential timelines exist simultaneously, superimposed upon one another like layers of reality. Think of it as multiple radio stations broadcasting on the same frequency, each representing a different version of reality. The collapse we fear could simply be a merging or overlapping of these timelines, a chaotic blending of signals leading to confusion and uncertainty. Is it possible that the Mandela effect is not just a quirky phenomenon of false memories, but a glimpse into the reality of timeline stacking? Could these conflicting memories be remnants of experiences from alternative timelines, now bleeding into our current one, creating a sense of disorientation and cognitive dissonance? And what about February 21st? Could it be a nexus point, a date where the veil between timelines thins, leading to increased inter-timeline interference? Perhaps those who experience strong Mandela effects are more sensitive to these bleed-throughs, acting as receivers for alternative realities. Think about the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, the theory that with every quantum event, the universe splits into multiple parallel universes, each representing a different outcome. This could provide a scientific basis for timeline stacking, suggesting that countless versions of reality are constantly branching off from our own, coexisting in a vast multiverse. You may want to delve into your own memories, exploring your past for potential signs of timeline stacking. Journal about significant life events, considering how they might have unfolded differently in alternative timelines. Keep an open mind to the possibility that your personal history might not be as linear or fixed as you believe. But how do we navigate this chaotic landscape of stacked timelines? The answer, perhaps, lies in accessing the no-time state, a state of deep meditation or heightened awareness where the perception of time dissolves. Advanced meditators report transcending the limitations of linear time, accessing timeless realms of consciousness where past, present, and future merge into a single, unified experience. This no-time state could provide a crucial advantage in navigating timeline shifts. By detaching from the linear flow of time, we gain greater control over which timeline we align with, consciously choosing the reality we wish to inhabit. Consider the idea of the zero-point field, a hypothetical field of infinite potential that exists outside of spacetime. Accessing this field through meditation or other altered states of consciousness could allow us to tap into a source of infinite possibilities, influencing the very fabric of reality. From a neurological perspective, the no-time state may be linked to the deactivation of the default mode network, DMN, in the brain, the network associated with self-referential thought and linear time perception. Brain imaging studies have shown that meditation can reduce DMN activity, leading to a sense of timelessness and expanded awareness. Can we practice accessing this state? If so, how? Let's cultivate practices that help us access the no-time state. Meditation, mindfulness, creative flow activities, these can dissolve the perception of time and connect us with inner wisdom. Trust your intuition, your inner guidance, when making decisions about your future. But what is intuition? Is it just a hunch, or is it a connection to something deeper? Now, let's move on to collective intention and how it can shape global timelines. Think about collective intention as a powerful force, capable of influencing the very fabric of reality. When individuals unite in positive intention, they can create a more harmonious and sustainable future for humanity. Studies have shown that group meditation can reduce crime rates and promote peace, suggesting that collective consciousness has a tangible effect on the world around us. This collective intention ties directly to the idea of timeline stacking. By focusing on a shared vision of a positive future, we can help to pull that timeline into greater prominence, making it more likely to manifest for all. On February 21st, consider joining a global meditation event, focusing on a specific positive outcome for humanity, a shared vision of peace, prosperity, and well-being. Consider the concept of morphogenetic fields, fields of information that connect individuals and influence their behavior. Collective intention can strengthen these fields, creating ripple effects throughout the world. Rupert Sheldrake's research on morphogenetic fields suggests that learning and behavior can be transmitted across generations through these fields, even without direct contact. This raises a profound question. Can we, through our collective intention, create a new morphogenetic field for humanity, a field that promotes peace, compassion, and sustainability? It's time to take responsibility for our role in shaping the future of humanity. Connect with like-minded individuals, participate in collective intention practices, and become an active participant in creating a more positive and harmonious future for all. Numerous groups and communities are already dedicated to this work, providing platforms for collective meditation, intention setting, and conscious action. The key is to remember that we are not powerless. The future isn't something that happens to us. It is something we create together. So, with this understanding of our capacity as observers and co-creators firmly in place, we need to now ask. With this understanding of our capacity as observers and co-creators firmly in place, we need to now ask, how do we begin to decode our own individual reality? How can we identify our baseline, timeline, that familiar, consistent stream of experiences that shapes our day-to-day lives? Think of your baseline, timeline, as the riverbed of your existence, the well-worn grooves carved by your habitual thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's the reality you've become accustomed to, the predictable sequence of events and circumstances that define your personal world. Just like a river carves its path through the landscape, your dominant beliefs and patterns have shaped the contours of your personal timeline. Recognizing this baseline is the crucial first step in identifying any potential timeline deviations or shifts. But what exactly constitutes this baseline? It's more than just your physical surroundings or your daily routine. It's the deeply ingrained narrative you tell yourself about who you are and what your life is. It's the sum total of your subjective experiences, filtered through the lens of your individual neurology, belief systems, and emotional states. Someone who consistently focuses on lack and limitation will likely perceive a very different baseline timeline than someone who cultivates gratitude and abundance. Our perception of time itself is influenced by this baseline, as we discussed earlier, with periods of flow and joy seeming to stretch out, while moments of stress and anxiety feel compressed. Consider February 21st as an opportunity to truly reevaluate this baseline and examine the beliefs shaping your reality. Is it truly aligned with who you aspire to be? So how do we begin to map this terrain to chart the contours of our baseline timeline? One powerful technique is to start journaling about your daily experiences, paying close attention to recurring patterns in your thoughts, emotions, and interactions. Track the subtle nuances of your internal landscape. What triggers feelings of joy, frustration, or fear? What beliefs consistently surface in your mind? Analyze your personal values and beliefs, identifying the core principles that guide your decisions and shape your perceptions. Consider creating a timeline map, a visual representation of key events, relationships, and beliefs that have shaped your current reality. This map could take the form of a literal timeline, a mind map, or even a collage of images and symbols that resonate with your personal story. But here's the crucial question. Is your current baseline timeline truly aligned with your authentic desires, with the life you long to live? Or are you simply drifting along a riverbed carved out by societal expectations, limiting beliefs, and unconscious patterns? If you could change anything about your life, what would it be? What are you truly passionate about? What activities make you feel alive and energized? These questions are crucial for assessing whether you are living a life that is congruent with your values and aspirations. It's time to challenge the assumptions that underpin your reality, and to consider the possibility that you have the power to rewrite your personal story. Once you've begun to map your baseline timeline, the next crucial step is developing the ability to distinguish genuine timeline shifts from mere imagination or wishful thinking. This requires cultivating reality testing, a critical evaluation of sensory information to discern between authentic experiences and imagined scenarios. Think of a skilled stage magician, masterfully using misdirection and illusion to create experiences that defy the laws of physics. The audience sees the impossible, but only because their perception is being skillfully manipulated. Similarly, our own biases and expectations can distort our perception of reality, leading us to misinterpret events and experiences. Remember our earlier discussion of the Mandela effect. Could these shared false memories be attributed to a failure of reality testing on a collective scale? Are we so prone to confirmation bias, to seeking out information that confirms our existing beliefs, that we collectively create and reinforce false memories? Cognitive biases can subtly warp our perception of reality, leading us to accept information that confirms our preconceived notions while dismissing evidence to the contrary. Sharpening our senses and strengthening our reality testing abilities become paramount, especially around dates like February 21st. It's about recognizing the tricks our own minds can play on us. So, how do we hone our reality testing skills to become more discerning observers of our own experience? The answer lies in cultivating mindfulness, in paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Practice questioning your assumptions, challenging your beliefs, and seeking out diverse perspectives. Engage in activities that challenge your perception, such as optical illusions, riddles, or debates. These exercises can help you to become more aware of the limitations of your own senses and the potential for misinterpretation. Learn to recognize the subtle cues that distinguish between genuine experiences and imagined scenarios, such as the consistency of sensory details, the presence of emotional resonance, and the alignment with your core values. It's time to become more skeptical of your own perceptions, to actively seek out evidence that contradicts your beliefs. Embrace intellectual humility, the willingness to change your mind in the face of new information. Practice steel manning, where you attempt to articulate the opposing viewpoint in its strongest and most persuasive form. This exercise can help you to identify the weaknesses in your own arguments and to develop a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. True discernment lies not in clinging to fixed beliefs, but in remaining open to the possibility that you might be wrong. But what if the key to navigating timeline shifts lies not in the waking world, but in the realm of dreams? Consider the potential of dreamwalking, also known as lucid dreaming, as a method for consciously exploring and interacting with different timelines. The dream state provides access to the subconscious mind, which may hold memories and experiences from other realities, or perhaps even glimpses of potential futures. Imagine yourself in a lucid dream, fully aware that you are dreaming, able to consciously control your actions and surroundings. You are no longer bound by the limitations of the physical world. You can fly, teleport, or even alter the very fabric of reality. In this state of heightened awareness, you can begin to explore the vast landscape of your subconscious mind, accessing memories, emotions, and beliefs that are normally hidden from conscious awareness. Some believe it is possible to use lucid dreams to heal past traumas, explore future possibilities, or even communicate with other entities. Perhaps the key to moving between timelines lies within this ability. Remember our earlier discussion of subjective time and the no-time state. Lucid dreams occur in a realm outside of linear time, providing access to a broader range of experiences and possibilities. The boundaries of past, present, and future become blurred, allowing you to potentially access memories from other timelines or glimpse potential future outcomes. As February 21st approaches, focus on developing your lucid dreaming abilities, viewing it as a potential gateway to alternative realities. How do we unlock this potential to consciously enter the world of lucid dreams? The answer lies in a combination of techniques, including reality checks performed during waking hours, consistent dream journaling, and the Wake Back to Bed (WBTB) method. Reality checks involve repeatedly asking yourself, throughout the day, am I dreaming? This practice helps to train your mind to become more aware of the subtle cues that distinguish between waking and dreaming. Dream journaling involves recording your dreams each morning, which helps to improve your dream recall and to identify recurring themes and symbols. The WBTB method involves waking up after a few hours of sleep, staying awake for a short period, and then returning to bed, which increases the likelihood of entering a lucid dream. Scientifically, lucid dreaming is linked to activity in specific brain regions, particularly the prefrontal cortex, the area associated with higher-level cognitive functions. Certain neurotransmitters, such as acetylcholine, also play a role in promoting lucid dreaming. Don't dismiss your dreams as mere random neural firings, but embrace them as valuable sources of information and insight. Explore the symbolic language of dreams, paying attention to the recurring themes, characters, and settings. Before sleep, set intentions, asking for guidance or information about specific timelines or challenges. View dreamwalking not just as a form of entertainment, but as a powerful tool for personal growth and exploration. Finally, let's consider the power of the quantum mirror, the idea that the external world reflects our internal state and our beliefs about reality. Our physical appearance, our relationships, and our circumstances often mirror our self-image, beliefs, and emotional patterns. If you believe that you are unworthy of love, you will likely attract relationships that reinforce that belief. If you believe that the world is a dangerous place, you will likely experience events that confirm that belief. This mirroring effect is not merely a coincidence, but a reflection of the fundamental interconnectedness of consciousness and reality. Think back to our discussion of intention and the observer effect. Our expectations and beliefs can shape the reality we experience, much like the act of observing a quantum particle influences its behavior. Practicing self-love and acceptance can lead to positive changes in our relationships and circumstances. The more we value and appreciate ourselves, the more likely we are to attract positive experiences into our lives. As we approach February 21st, make it a time to focus on reflecting the best version of yourself into the quantum mirror of reality. How can we actively use this quantum mirror to shape our reality? One powerful technique is mirror gazing, spending time each day looking deeply into your own eyes, observing your emotions and thoughts without judgment. Affirmations can also be used to reprogram limiting beliefs and create a more positive self-image. Shadow work, integrating disowned aspects of the self, is another powerful technique. These are the parts of ourselves that we reject or suppress, such as our anger, our sadness, or our fear. By acknowledging and accepting these shadow aspects, we can integrate them into our personality, becoming more whole and authentic. It's time to take responsibility for your own reality, to recognize that you have the power to change your circumstances by changing your internal state. Examine your beliefs about yourself and the world. identifying any limiting patterns that are holding you back. Challenge those beliefs, question their validity, and replace them with more empowering perspectives. Remember, the world is a mirror, reflecting back to you what you hold within. Change the reflection, and you change the world. But is that all there is to it? There are even more controversial practices to explore. So, the quantum mirror shows us the world is a reflection. But how do we navigate the labyrinth of choices, of potential realities constantly branching out before us? How do we find our way to the timelines that resonate most deeply with our authentic selves, especially as we approach this potentially volatile period around February 21st? Let's explore some powerful tools for precisely that purpose, beginning with the subtle art of noticing synchronicity. Think of synchronicity as the universe winking at you, a breadcrumb trail of meaningful coincidences guiding you along your path. These aren't just random chance occurrences. They're like echoes from the quantum realm, reflections of your deepest intentions and beliefs manifesting in the external world. Have you ever thought of someone you haven't spoken to in years, only to have them call you moments later? Or perhaps you've been searching for a solution to a problem, and then stumble upon the exact information you need in the most unexpected place. These are synchronicities, and they're far more significant than we often realize. When you start noticing these coincidences, it can be confirmation that you're on the right path. Remember our earlier discussion of intention and the quantum mirror. Synchronicities are reflections of your internal alignment. They are feedback mechanisms from the universe, confirming that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in harmony with your desired outcome. As we approach February 21st, it's likely that these synchronicities will become amplified, perhaps serving as urgent signposts guiding you towards the most optimal timeline for your personal evolution. Pay close attention to recurring numbers, symbols, or themes that appear in your life during this period. These may hold valuable clues about the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. Perhaps you keep seeing the number 333, often associated with spiritual awakening, or you repeatedly encounter images of a phoenix, symbolizing transformation and rebirth. From a psychological perspective, Carl Jung described synchronicity as an acausal connecting principle, a meaningful coincidence that transcends the limitations of cause and effect. He believed that synchronicities arise from the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of archetypal patterns and symbols that connects all of humanity. Metaphysically, synchronicity can be seen as evidence of the interconnectedness of all things, a reminder that we are all part of a larger cosmic web of consciousness. Studies on intuition also shed light on this phenomenon, suggesting that we have the capacity to access information beyond the realm of our conscious awareness. This intuitive knowing may be the underlying mechanism that allows us to perceive and interpret synchronicities. So, how can you become more attuned to these subtle signals, to decipher the messages encoded within these seemingly random events? Start by cultivating a sense of presence, by paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Practice mindfulness meditation, observe your thoughts and emotions, and become more aware of your surroundings. Keep a synchronicity journal, recording any meaningful coincidences that occur in your life. Note the date, time, location, and any relevant thoughts or emotions you were experiencing at the time. Over time, you may begin to notice patterns and connections that reveal deeper meanings and insights. As February 21st draws nearer, try actively asking the universe for guidance, posing specific questions, and then paying close attention to any synchronicities that arise in response. Trust your intuition and allow yourself to be guided by the flow of meaningful coincidences. But synchronicity is just the beginning. To truly navigate the complexities of timeline shifts, we must also understand the power of emotional resonance, the ability of our feelings to shape the reality we experience. Think of your emotions as tuning forks, vibrating at specific frequencies that attract experiences that match those frequencies. If you are consistently feeling joyful, grateful, and optimistic, you will likely attract circumstances and relationships that reinforce those positive emotions. Conversely, if you are dominated by fear, anxiety, and resentment, you may find yourself trapped in a cycle of negativity and suffering. Remember our earlier discussions of intention and the observer effect. Emotions act as quantum attractors, shaping the reality that unfolds around you. Your feelings are not merely passive reactions to external events. They are active forces that influence the very fabric of spacetime. As February 21st approaches, heightened emotions could make it easier to choose a timeline. Perhaps you find yourself drawn to certain people, places, or activities that evoke a sense of excitement and inspiration. Or maybe you experience intense feelings of aversion towards situations that no longer serve your highest good. These emotional cues are valuable indicators of the timelines that are most aligned with your authentic self. Neurologically, emotions are complex electrochemical processes that involve multiple brain regions, including the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. These processes release a cascade of hormones and neurotransmitters that affect our thoughts, behaviors, and perceptions. Studies have shown that positive emotions, such as love and compassion, can boost the immune system, reduce stress, and improve overall health. Conversely, chronic stress and negative emotions can weaken the immune system, increase the risk of disease, and impair cognitive function. In essence, your emotional state directly impacts your physical and mental well-being, shaping your experience of reality. So, how can you harness the power of emotional resonance to create a more positive and harmonious timeline? Start by becoming more aware of your emotional state, paying attention to the subtle sensations in your body that accompany different feelings. Practice emotional regulation techniques, such as mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing exercises. These techniques can help you to calm your mind, release stress, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. Create an emotional vision board, a collage of images, words, and symbols that represent the emotions you want to experience on a regular basis. Visualize yourself feeling these emotions and allow yourself to fully embody them in your imagination. As February 21st approaches, focus on cultivating positive emotions such as love, joy, gratitude, and compassion. These emotions will act as a powerful magnet, attracting experiences that align with your desired timeline. But emotions are not the only key. Our beliefs form the bedrock of our reality. To truly architect our desired lives, we must understand and master the process of belief restructuring. Beliefs act as filters, shaping how we perceive and interact with the world. They are the lenses through which we interpret our experiences, the foundations upon which we build our personal reality. If you believe that you are not good enough, you will likely sabotage your own success. If you believe that the world is a dangerous place, you will likely attract experiences that confirm that belief. Remember our earlier discussions of intention, the quantum mirror, and the observer effect. Beliefs are the foundation upon which your reality is built. They are the underlying assumptions that shape your thoughts, emotions, and actions. As we approach February 21st, focusing on belief work could be especially beneficial, as the shifting timelines may create a window of opportunity for rapid and profound transformation. Psychologically, beliefs are formed through repeated experiences and reinforced through neural pathways in the brain. They become deeply ingrained patterns of thought that can be difficult to change. However, studies on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, have shown that it is possible to identify and change limiting beliefs through conscious effort and targeted techniques. CBT involves challenging negative thought patterns, reframing negative experiences, and replacing limiting beliefs with more empowering perspectives. Neurologically, this process involves creating new neural pathways in the brain, weakening the old, limiting pathways. How can you begin to restructure your own beliefs, to dismantle the limiting structures that are holding you back? Start by examining your own thoughts and identifying any recurring negative patterns. Ask yourself, What do I believe about myself? What do I believe about the world? Are these beliefs serving me, or are they holding me back? Create a list of empowering beliefs that support your desired timeline. Repeat these affirmations regularly, visualizing yourself living as if these beliefs were already true. As February 21st approaches, focus on challenging your deepest fears and insecurities, the core beliefs that underpin your limiting patterns. This is an opportunity to break free from the chains of your past and to create a new foundation for your future. But sometimes, a more direct approach is needed. This is where timeline jumping rituals come into play, specific practices designed to intentionally shift your experience to a different reality. Think of these rituals not as magic spells, but as focused acts of intention designed to align your energy with a specific desired outcome. These rituals are symbolic actions that amplify your intentions and create a tangible link between your current reality and the timeline you wish to inhabit. Consider a simple example: writing a letter to your future self, describing the life you wish to be living 1 year from now. In this letter, you express gratitude for all the positive changes that have occurred, detailing the experiences, relationships, and accomplishments that have manifested in your life. As you write this letter, you fully embody the emotions of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment, allowing yourself to feel as if this future reality is already here. This act of writing, combined with the emotional activation and the clear intention, creates a powerful timeline jumping ritual. To maximize results, perform on or around February 21st. Remember our discussions of intention, emotional resonance, and belief restructuring. Timeline jumping rituals are most effective when they are aligned with your core values and authentic desires. They are not about escaping your current reality, but about consciously co-creating a future that is in harmony with your highest potential. Combining visualization, emotional activation, and physical action can amplify the power of these rituals, creating a synergistic effect that accelerates your timeline shift. Psychologically, rituals create a sense of focus, meaning, and connection to something larger than oneself. They can help to quiet the mind, reduce stress, and enhance feelings of hope and optimism. Anthropological studies have shown that rituals play a vital role in human societies, promoting social cohesion, reinforcing cultural values, and providing a sense of order and predictability in a chaotic world. Neurologically, rituals activate specific brain regions associated with attention, emotion, and motor control, creating a state of heightened focus and intention. So, how can you create your own personalized timeline jumping rituals? Start by identifying your deepest desires and aspirations, the experiences you most long to manifest in your life. Then, brainstorm symbolic actions that resonate with these desires, actions that feel meaningful, authentic, and empowering. Perhaps you create a vision board, meditate in nature, dance under the moonlight, or perform a creative act that expresses your unique gifts and talents. The key is to approach these rituals with an open mind, a sense of playfulness, and unwavering belief in your own power. As February 21st approaches, consider creating a special ceremony or ritual that honors this pivotal moment in time, a celebration of your ability to consciously shape your reality. As we explore these powerful techniques for navigating potential timeline shifts, it's essential to have a firm foundation, a way to stay anchored amidst the perceived chaos. This is where grounding techniques come into play, practices designed to connect your energy to the earth, creating a sense of stability and presence. Have you ever felt floaty or disconnected, as if you're drifting through life without a rudder? That's the opposite of being grounded, and it's a state that can amplify anxiety and disorientation, especially when the world around you feels uncertain. Conversely, when you're grounded, you feel rooted, centered, and capable of weathering any storm. Remember our earlier explorations of subjective time and the no-time state. Grounding helps to reintegrate your awareness into the present moment after experiencing altered states or delving into different potential timelines. It's like returning to base camp after a long expedition, a place to rest, recover, and gather your bearings before venturing out again. Now, why is this especially important as we approach February 21st? If indeed timelines are becoming more fluid or unstable, then grounding acts as an anchor, preventing you from being swept away by the currents of uncertainty. It helps you to maintain a clear sense of self and to navigate the shifting landscape with greater ease and resilience. One of the simplest and most effective grounding techniques is barefoot walking, feeling the earth beneath your feet. This direct skin contact allows you to absorb the earth's natural energy, which can help to balance your own energy field and reduce stress. Think of it as earthing, a way to reconnect with the planet and its life-giving force. If you can't walk barefoot outside, try simply placing your hands on a tree or sitting in a park. Another powerful grounding practice is nature immersion, spending time in natural environments such as forests, mountains, or beaches. The sights, sounds, and smells of nature can have a profound calming effect on the mind and body, helping you to feel more connected to the earth and to yourself. Conscious breathing is another excellent tool for grounding. Focusing on your breath, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly, helps to anchor you in the present moment, quieting the mental chatter and reducing anxiety. You might also try visualization, imagining roots extending from your body down through the floor and deep into the earth. These roots act as conduits, drawing energy from the earth and grounding you in its stability. Finally, engaging in physical activity, such as exercise or movement, can help you to reconnect with your body and release pent-up energy. Whether it's yoga, running, dancing, or simply stretching, find a physical activity that you enjoy and make it a regular part of your grounding practice. I challenge you to make grounding a regular practice in your daily life, not just during times of perceived crisis. Incorporate grounding practices into your morning routine, perhaps starting your day with a few minutes of barefoot walking or conscious breathing. Use grounding techniques as a tool for managing stress and anxiety throughout the day, taking a few deep breaths or visualizing your roots extending into the earth whenever you feel overwhelmed. Explore different grounding techniques and find what resonates most deeply with your personal preferences and lifestyle. Perhaps you create a grounding altar in your home, a space dedicated to connecting with the earth and its energy. Or maybe you incorporate grounding into your work life, taking regular breaks to step outside and connect with nature. But grounding is only one piece of the puzzle. To fully protect your energy and navigate potential timeline shifts, we also need to understand the importance of shielding practices. Imagine an energy field, or aura, surrounding your body, a luminous shield that protects you from external influences. This field is constantly interacting with the energies around you, absorbing and emitting vibrations that can affect your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Now, what happens when this shield is weakened or compromised? You become more vulnerable to negative energies, the emotions of others, and the chaotic vibrations of the external world. This is why shielding practices are so crucial, especially during times of potential timeline merges, where unfamiliar or discordant energies may be more prevalent. Remember our earlier discussions of emotional resonance and belief restructuring. Shielding helps to maintain a positive emotional state and reinforce empowering beliefs, preventing negative influences from taking hold. It's like building a fortress around your mind, protecting it from unwanted intrusions and reinforcing its inner strength. As February 21st approaches, the potential for emotional instability may increase, making shielding even more essential. If we are talking about timeline instability, we can imagine being exposed to more energies and heightened emotions. Shielding acts as a buffer, preventing you from being overwhelmed by the collective anxieties and fears of others, allowing you to stay centered in your own truth. One of the most common and effective shielding techniques is visualization, imagining a protective bubble of light surrounding your body. This bubble can be any color you choose, but many people find that white, gold, or violet light provides the strongest protection. Visualize this bubble as being impenetrable, deflecting any negative energies that come your way. Another popular shielding technique is the use of crystals, particularly those known for their protective properties. Black tourmaline, obsidian, and amethyst are all excellent choices. Carry these crystals with you, place them in your home, or wear them as jewelry to create a protective field around you. Sage smudging is another powerful way to cleanse your energy field and create a protective barrier. Burn dried sage and allow the smoke to envelop your body, visualizing any negative energies being dispelled. Affirmations are also a valuable tool for shielding. Repeat affirmations of strength and protection, such as "I am safe and protected," "I am surrounded by divine light," or "I am impervious to negative energies." Finally, you can use protective symbols, visualizing or wearing symbols that represent protection, such as the pentagram, the Ankh, or the Eye of Horus. These symbols act as powerful reminders of your own inner strength and resilience. I challenge you to experiment with different shielding techniques and to find what works best for you. Create a personalized shielding ritual that incorporates multiple techniques and resonates with your individual beliefs and preferences. Perhaps you combine visualization with crystal healing and affirmations, creating a multi-layered shield that provides maximum protection. Visualize your shield regularly, reinforcing its effectiveness and strengthening your connection to its protective energy. As you approach February 21st, make shielding a daily practice, ensuring that your energy field remains strong, resilient, and impervious to negative influences. But even with strong grounding and shielding, it's crucial to develop discernment, the ability to filter information and trust your intuition, especially as we navigate the sea of information and misinformation surrounding this February 21st date. Think of discernment as your inner compass, guiding you towards truth and away from falsehood. In a world saturated with information, where opinions and agendas are constantly vying for your attention, discernment becomes an indispensable tool for navigating complexity and making informed decisions. Have you ever been easily swayed by misinformation, blindly accepting information without critical evaluation? Or perhaps you've struggled to distinguish between your authentic intuition and fear-based thoughts. Remember our earlier discussions of reality testing, belief restructuring, and synchronicity. Discernment helps to filter information and experiences, aligning you with the most authentic and empowering timeline. It's like having a built-in lie detector, allowing you to separate truth from falsehood and to make choices that are aligned with your highest good. In other words, discernment is a mental filter. As February 21st approaches, the amount of information, speculation, and fear-mongering is likely to increase exponentially. Discernment will be your greatest asset in navigating this information overload, allowing you to separate the signal from the noise and to stay centered in your own truth. One of the most important discernment tools is critical thinking, questioning assumptions, seeking evidence, and considering alternative perspectives. Don't blindly accept anything you hear or read, regardless of the source. Always ask yourself, what is the evidence for this claim? What are the potential biases of the source? What are the alternative explanations? Emotional awareness is also crucial for discernment. Recognize and manage your own emotional biases, understanding how your feelings can influence your judgment. Fear, anger, and desire can all cloud your judgment, making you more susceptible to manipulation. Intuition is another powerful tool for discernment. Pay attention to your gut feelings and inner guidance, that subtle sense of knowing that goes beyond the rational mind. However, it's important to distinguish between authentic intuition and fear-based thoughts. Intuition feels calm, clear, and confident, while fear feels anxious, urgent, and chaotic. Source evaluation is also essential. Assess the credibility and bias of information sources, considering their reputation, expertise, and potential motivations. Be wary of sources that promote sensationalism, conspiracy theories, or unsubstantiated claims. Seek diverse perspectives, consulting multiple sources and viewpoints before forming an opinion. Don't rely on a single source of information, but rather gather a variety of perspectives to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the issue. I challenge you to cultivate a healthy sense of skepticism and to avoid blindly accepting information without critical evaluation. Practice devil's advocate, deliberately arguing against your own beliefs to identify potential weaknesses or biases. Trust your intuition, but also verify your gut feelings with rational analysis and evidence-based research. As you approach February 21st, be particularly vigilant about the information you consume, carefully filtering out the fear-mongering and misinformation. Develop your own internal compass for navigating complex and uncertain situations, relying on your discernment to guide you towards truth, empowerment, and the most authentic timeline for your personal evolution. But even with strong grounding and shielding, and that invaluable discernment, the question remains, can we definitively prove that a timeline collapse is occurring? While the answer remains elusive, hovering in the realm of possibility rather than concrete certainty, the convergence of data points, we've explored those NASA anomalies that sparked our journey, the unsettling trends within the Mandela effect, the cryptic whispers of prophetic interpretations all suggest that we are indeed navigating a period of heightened potential. A time ripe with both change and uncertainty, especially as we approach that recurring date of February 21st. Let's be clear, interpreting data like this isn't about finding irrefutable proof. It's about recognizing suggestive patterns, empowering you to form your own informed opinions, to become an active participant in deciphering the unfolding narrative of reality itself. Remember, the power lies not in blindly accepting predictions, but in cultivating your own inner knowing. And speaking of inner knowing, let's revisit those key timeline navigation tools we've discussed throughout this exploration. The grounding techniques that anchor you to the present, the shielding practices that protect your energy, the discernment that guides you through the noise, the intention setting that focuses your will, and even the more esoteric practice of dreamwalking, which allows you to explore alternate realities. These tools, I want to emphasize, are valuable regardless of whether a timeline collapse occurs. They are the keys to enhanced awareness, unwavering resilience, and profound personal agency, equipping you to navigate not just potential shifts in reality, but the everyday complexities of life itself. Let's consider a few specific scenarios we touched on earlier. Remember the anxiety surrounding February 21st, the fear of the unknown. Grounding helps to quell that anxiety by anchoring you in the present moment, reminding you that you are safe and secure right here, right now. Shielding protects you from the collective fear, preventing it from overwhelming your own energy field. Discernment allows you to evaluate the information you're receiving, separating truth from falsehood, and empowering you to make informed decisions. And intention setting allows you to focus your energy on creating the reality you desire, rather than succumbing to fear-based predictions. Or think back to the Mandela effect examples we discussed. Grounding helps you to accept the discrepancies without getting lost in existential angst. Shielding protects you from the emotional distress of questioning your memories. Discernment allows you to evaluate the evidence objectively, considering alternative explanations. And intention setting allows you to focus on creating a more coherent and stable personal reality, regardless of the external inconsistencies. Ultimately, the core understanding we're moving towards is the realization that linear time, as we perceive it, may be an illusion, or at least a very limited perspective. Accepting the possibility of multiple timelines and embracing the power of your own consciousness to influence your personal reality becomes paramount, regardless of any external events or pronouncements. Think of linear time as a useful map, not the territory itself. A map can be helpful for navigating, but it's not the actual landscape. Don't mistake the representation for the reality. So, can we shift our perspective on this potential timeline collapse? Instead of viewing it as a threat, perhaps we can see it as an opportunity for profound personal and collective awakening. Awareness, adaptability, and conscious intention become our guiding principles in navigating any period of change, no matter how turbulent it may seem. Consider the analogy of a caterpillar entering a chrysalis. To the caterpillar, it might feel like an ending, a complete collapse of its world. But in reality, it's a transformation, a necessary stage in becoming something new and beautiful, something capable of soaring to new heights. Now, let's place this within a broader context. This potential timeline collapse, this period of upheaval, can be connected to the cyclical nature of time itself, and the inevitable rise and fall of civilizations throughout history. Instead of viewing history as a linear progression, consider it as a series of repeating cycles, each presenting an opportunity to learn from the past and create a better future. The February 21st date, then, serves not as a fixed point of dread, but as a focal point, a reminder to examine these themes and to actively practice our timeline navigation tools. It's an invitation to be present, intentional, and deeply connected to our inner guidance, rather than a date to be feared or anticipated with anxiety. What are the broader implications of this timeline collapse theory for how we choose to live our lives, here and now? It prompts us to prioritize authenticity, genuine connection with others, and a deep commitment to contributing to a better world for all. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? If timelines are indeed malleable, what kind of future do you actively want to create, not just for yourself, but for generations to come? Remember, your beliefs, your intentions, your actions have a ripple effect, influencing not only your personal timeline, but also the collective timeline of humanity. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, every spark of creativity contributes to a more positive and harmonious future for all. So, let's revisit that initial question, the one that started this entire exploration. That secret NASA data. Acknowledging once again that its interpretation remains open to debate, and perhaps forever will, it has nonetheless served as a powerful catalyst, sparking deeper questions about the very nature of reality, the mysteries of time, and the boundless potential of human consciousness. The true goal, then, is not to arrive at definitive answers, but to embrace the journey of exploration and questioning itself. Therefore, let February 21st represent an opportunity, a focal point for amplified intention and collective action. Use this date to consciously amplify your positive intentions, not just for yourself, but for the entire world. Perhaps participate in a global meditation event, joining with countless others to focus on peace, healing, and a brighter future. Or perhaps engage in a personal ritual, a symbolic act of manifesting the desired future you envision. So, is a timeline collapse actually happening? While certainty remains elusive, the exploration of this very possibility has gifted us with invaluable tools and insights, empowering us to navigate life with greater awareness, deeper intention, and unwavering resilience. Remember, the journey of exploration is far more important than arriving at some fixed, predetermined answer. And what about the concept of collapse itself? Can we reframe it, transform it from a source of fear into a potential breakthrough? Perhaps this perceived instability, this shaking of the foundations, is a necessary step, a catalyst for dismantling old paradigms that no longer serve us, making way for the creation of entirely new possibilities. It's like breaking down an old, dilapidated building, not out of malice or destruction, but to clear the space and make way for a new and improved structure, one that is stronger, more beautiful, and better suited to our needs. This exploration, however, doesn't end here. If timelines are indeed malleable, what are the ethical considerations of intentionally shifting them, not just for ourselves, but for others? What role does collective consciousness play in shaping global events, and how can we harness its power for positive change? And ultimately, how can we cultivate greater wisdom, deeper compassion, and unwavering integrity to navigate an increasingly complex and uncertain world. These questions, and countless others, await further exploration. I encourage you to delve deeper into areas that resonate with you. Quantum physics, ancient prophecies, altered states of consciousness, the power of collective intention, the principles of sustainable living, the pursuit of social justice. Seek out resources, connect with communities, and explore practices that align with your own personal path. Share your experiences, your insights, your questions in the comments section below. Let's create a community of shared exploration, a space where we can learn from each other, challenge each other, and support each other on this journey of discovery. Have you experienced any synchronicities, any unusual or unexplainable events related to time or reality? Share your stories. They may hold valuable clues. In future content, we'll delve deeper into specific timeline navigation techniques, explore the ethical implications of timeline shifting in more detail, and examine the profound role that collective consciousness plays in shaping global events. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and join us as we continue to explore the mysteries of reality, the power of consciousness, and the boundless potential that lies within each and every one of us. Never forget your power. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and thank you for joining me on this extraordinary